Hi BookTube, this is Johnny. I'm using my new camera, my newest camera tonight. That last video I made with the old camera was pretty sharp, but it took 2.5 hours to download it. Whereas if I use my newest camera, which I bought maybe a year or two, maybe a year and a half ago, it only takes 20 minutes. But hey, usually what I used to do with the old camera and making videos, I would download it during the night when I was sleeping. Before I went to bed, I would just download it. And then in the morning, it'd be done, and then I would load it into my YouTube, my BookTube channel. But I don't know. I'm using a high definition setting on this camera to see if there's any difference. I was using a standard movie. This is high definition. It might even take 3 hours on this setting, but we'll see. So yeah, tonight it is a Sunday night here in West Michigan. It is July the 9th. It is 9:06 at night. It is 81 degrees inside our house in this quiet little suburban neighborhood. And I was just watching a video on YouTube about some famous photographer. I like photography, even though I basically just take photos of birds and flowers and sky. I don't take pictures of people except myself or my grandchildren. Carol, my wife, doesn't like pictures of herself. I mainly take pictures of our grandchildren when we go to parks or go to the Lake Michigan, or I usually take pictures of birds from our kitchen window. There's a bird feeder outside our kitchen window, and I have my wildflower garden. Right now it's basically all brown-eyed Susan's flowers. I used to go for more walks, but the last 2 years I don't like leaving the house. And now that Rudy has passed away, there's no reason to go for a walk in the morning. When Rudy was alive, there was a time when Rudy and I would go for a walk every morning. Windmill Island, Cullen Park, window on the waterfront. We would go out different parks. But now Rudy's gone, and I don't walk. And I know if I don't start walking, I'm going to be in trouble because I'm getting older and I'm getting weaker and weaker as far as muscles and energy. I don't know what it is. I just don't like leaving the house. I don't like being out in the world. I don't like, it just feels creepy out there. I feel like I'm in a howling wasteland. So yeah, so today I ended on my July 2017 diary. I ended on page 622. And tomorrow on the 10th, I'll be 623. If I don't die during the sleep, or the Lord doesn't come back and rapture the church out of the world. So yeah, today was a quiet day. This morning I read some of this book, The Path of Christianity, The First 1,000 Years by John Anthony McGuckin. I read that a little bit this morning, and I read a little bit of the Benedict option, the strategy for Christians in the post-Christian nation. I don't know, this morning I read a little bit, but I kept falling asleep. My mind was wandering, so I read that. And then in the afternoons, I start with more of the biography of the British writer who's no longer living, The Invention of Angela Carter, a biography by Edmund Gordon. I really like this because she lived, it's running about the 60s there in England, the folk music scene there in England, and it's kind of interesting. So I read that, and then I read some of her Shaking a Leg collected writings by Andrew Carter. I read a little bit of the first piece in this here. And then I took a nap this afternoon. I couldn't stay awake. But then I was reading, been reading tonight, Henry Thoreau, A Life by Laura Daslow Walls, and I also got out the journal 1837 to 1861, Henry David Thoreau. This is not the whole journal. This has been abridged and edited. This has. So yeah, our neighbor is across the street. You must be wondering why I'm talking to myself. But yeah, this is, I was reading this, and I was reading the selected letters of Ezra Pound tonight. I was reading that before I sat down here to make a video. Also been reading The Last Intellectuals, American Culture in the Age of Academia by Russell Jacoby. And reading The Rebel in Defense of Tradition, The Life and Politics of Dwight Macdonald by Michael Wreszin. Today I ordered from Amazon the letters of Dwight Macdonald that was edited by Michael Wreszin. And I also ordered from Amazon a book of essays by Dwight Macdonald from Amazon, so I'll get those in the mail probably this week. So yeah, that's what I've been reading. I'm missing, like I said, I've been missing Rudy. I was thinking about talking about all the pets and animals I've had in my life. Carol and I, when we got married, we lived in a small little tiny apartment in Grand Rapids, and I used to feed these cats that used to come to the back door. And it was a white cat, and I named it Snow. And the cat would not come into the house. It was a wild outdoor cat, but it would always come to the back door of our little apartment, which was on the ground floor, and I would feed it. And then when we left, and then we had Caleb was born, and then Josiah, and then we moved after college, Bible college, we moved to Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. I don't think we had any kind of animals or any pets or anything when we were in Jackson. We had membership in the Jackson Zoo, so I would take the boys to the zoo every morning. It was very close by the seminary. We would go to Jackson Zoo. We had family membership. We could go anytime we wanted. So I would do that. I had the stroller, and I'd take the boys to the zoo. And then we would go out for donuts, and we did that. And then Beth was born right at just as I was finishing seminary there in Jackson. And then we moved to Houston, Texas. And that's where I did my minister internship. And when we were in Houston, there was this cat that used to come to the back door. And I named him Suppertime. It was named Suppertime, because every evening about 6, he would show up at the back door, and I would feed him. He was a big orange calico cat. And I named him Suppertime. Also, I got another cat named Rose that was given to us, but Carol, for some reason we got rid of it because it was a long-haired black, beautiful cat. But I think Carol's allergic to cat hair. That's why we never had cats inside the house. And after supper time, we still had supper time, and then we got a dog named Macintosh, who was a West Highland Terrier. And we had Mac up until we moved here to Holland, Michigan, back in 1991. And Mac died around 2001, I think. 3, he got old and senile. And then we got Rudy about in 2004. And we had Rudy up until just recently. Rudy was really a good dog. He was very sweet, friendly. Mac was a West Highland Terrier. He was more Carol's dog. He wasn't really friendly, but he loved Carol and he loved the boys. When the boys were downstairs, every night Mac would go downstairs and sleep with Josiah. And he was a good dog too. Loved to be outside. Rudy hated being outside, but Mac loved to be outside and running in the snow. He loved going to the lake and running in the water. Rudy hated the water, hated being outside, didn't like snow, didn't like getting wet, but Mac loved walking in the rain and running into the lake and rolling in the sand when we would go to the lake, but not Rudy. So now, here I am. I feel kind of lonely without Rudy and no one to talk to. Except myself, writing in my diary. I could always talk to the Lord. But I'm still kind of very sad about Rudy. I kind of miss him. Because Carol's gone a lot. So she works night shift. When she like next month she'll be gone for a week. She's going out to Denver to visit our daughter and Andy and the girls and little baby Jack. And I'm scared of flying. I don't like I said, I don't like leaving the house. So I'll be a whole week by myself. In the past, it was always Rudy around. When Carol was gone visiting the kids somewhere, I always had Rudy to talk to and keep me company. Now it'd just be me and the four walls. No Rudy, nothing, nobody, nothing. I have one friend here in Holland, but he's kind of a loner like I am. And so I don't know. I thought about getting another dog, but I don't know. It's too much work. Too much. I would just get more sad knowing that someday he would grow old and I have to put him down. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Probably go to bed. Last night I didn't get to bed until 11:30. I stayed up and I read that book on Dwight Macdonald. Could read Walden, some more Walden. Read the letters of Ezra Pound. Or I just could turn all the lights off and turn on some music. Or I could just sit here. So it's a new week. I hope you have a good week of reading, and thank you for the comments. And until next time, bye.